In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Elder Scrolls Online's new sets coming with the Greymoor expansion on the 25th of May, which is just right around the corner, so let's get into those. The first set we're going to take a look at is called Winter's Respite. This is the Overland Light Armor set that's Magicka based. It has very good bonuses, and the 5th piece bonus allows you to heal allies and yourself in an AoE for 10 seconds once every 10 seconds. When you use an ability that creates an AoE effect on the ground. The reason this is so powerful is because of the AoE healing nature of the ability. You can use something if you're like a Templar, like Cleansing Ritual, and this is not only going to give you the healing of the ability, but then this set as well, which is just godly. And it's going to heal everyone in that area, making you a heal bot. If you have problems killing Templars in PvP or other enemies, this is just going to make it even more difficult. One thing I don't know, because I haven't tested out, is if this ability stacks. So if you had multiple people running this set, and you ran multiple Cleansing Rituals, or maybe you threw Caltrops on the ground in the same spot and everyone's standing, and if it heals everyone over and over, you might possibly have scenarios where everyone is just unkillable forever. I fully expect this set to be changed eventually, whether at launch or shortly after launch, because if you can stack these, it's just going to break the game. Next up on our list is the Venomous Smite Set. This allows you to put a poison dot on your target and nearby enemies for every 1 second when you deal critical damage. This is a very, very good set. Again, another great set for PvP where enemies tend to be grouped up. So you just AoE one target, now you're dealing damage to all of them. If players can stack multiple dots from, if 4 or 5 stamina characters are running this set and they can stack multiple dots, it'd be game breaking. I haven't tested this out, but it's another extremely powerful set for PvP. It's okay for PvE. You're gonna trash mobs go down relatively easy anyway, so it's not that big a deal. It's not gonna be huge for bosses, but for PvP, it has huge implications. The Heavy Armor Overland Set is the Eternal Vigor Set, and it has an extremely interesting 5-piece bonus, giving you Stamina, Magicka, and Health Recovery when you're above 50%, and increasing your Health Recovery when you're lower than 50%. However, its 2, 3, 4-piece bonuses are really bad, so I don't see too many people sacrificing those bonuses just to get this 5th piece. So I don't expect it to see a lot of use. Maybe there's some niche use for it out there, but I really highly doubt it. When we look at the Stuhn's Favor set, which is the first of the crafted sets, it basically focuses on weapon and spell damage and physical and spell penetration. I don't see too many people using this set. You'd have to get very creative to use it, and I don't expect that to become anyway meta. The next set we're going to talk about is the Dragon's Appetite set, which gives you weapon damage and stamina recovery for the 2, 3, and 4-piece bonuses. But the 5th piece bonus increases your damage done to bleeding enemies, but more importantly, is going to heal you after you deal a certain amount of non-bleeding damage for a good chunk. This allows you to be really aggressive, stamina builds typically are anyway, and still heal yourself without having to stop to heal. So this is a very good set. I don't know if it'll become meta because I don't think most builds want to sacrifice the DPS of that 5-piece bonus in order to gain healing. But it's still a very good set, particularly for new players, or medium players that are relatively new to the game, still figuring it out, because it allows you to get some extra healing, which if you don't have Vigor is something that stamina builds need very much. The spell Parasite Set is excellent for any Magicka build because it allows you to restore Magicka whenever you deal damage. So Magicka recovery is such a huge part of playing any Magicka-based build, or and stamina recovery with stamina builds, because the more resources you regain, the faster you can DPS, the harder you can DPS, and you don't have to slow down. So anytime you can restore resources, it's good. This effect can happen every quarter of a second, so you're talking about somewhere around 250 Magicka recovery, which is excellent at most. And I don't know if you can boost this up or what applies to it, if other sets affect that number or not, but it's just a great way to gain Magicka recovery. I don't know if it's going to replace other Magicka recovery sets, but it certainly gives you another option, especially if you're a DPS player, which is great. When it comes to the trial sets, I think they're pretty much self-explanatory because you're going to want at least one character in each trial that has one of these sets in order to buff your group. I'm not going to go into the details too much, but the Kyne's Wind set looks outstanding. I mean, allowing to recover stamina and Magicka every 1 second for people standing in that pool is huge. This is both good on a healer or a tank. If you're a tank and you're recovering that much, stamina and Magicka, it's absolutely insane, and it doesn't count as stamina or Magicka recovery, so if you're holding block, you're still going to gain that stamina, back, which is excellent, allowing you to hold block even longer. Stay tuned, we're going to be doing some more Elder Scrolls Online videos covering the mythic items that have been added to the game. If you haven't heard about those, they're special one-piece items that give you incredible benefits for a trade-off, so they're going to affect the way builds happen in the game. And we're also going to dive a little bit more deeply into the vampire skill line, as well as with the other changes that are coming with the Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor. We're going to be streaming the game at launch on the 25th of May, so be sure to drop by for that, and be sure to check out the Elder Scrolls Online wiki for any questions you might have with the game. We are updating this constantly as the game changes, and we are one of the few resource sites out there doing so make sure you drop by if you have questions.